Good morning, moms and Master Books. Hope you're having a fantastic week. I am here with Brittany, our publicist and my daughter, and we are going to go over a few things, a few of her favorite things.
There are a few of my favorite things. I wasn't going to sing that.
And we're actually broadcasting from a different room again. This will be the new Master Books studio when we're all said and done. I need definitely a cow painting on the wall somewhere.
Did you bring your cow picture down? Did I take it down?
I think I did. I think actually,
You just need to hold it.
Cow painting.
It kind of matches the yellow wall.
Up on the wall. It does. It looks, we can do that, but it needs to be bigger. So we do have the cow painting, but it's not on the wall yet. We'll just leave it right there. So.
It's like, looks like the cow's like peeking up behind each other. Hey, what's up, guys?
So, all right. So we're talking about some gift ideas from Master Books. Just a few things maybe you've seen or haven't seen. If you know them, weigh in. We'd love to hear your opinions, maybe some gift ideas that you've seen from Master Books as well. So what would be your first, not in any order, but just gift ideas?
So if I was walking through the warehouse and picking out gifts for Christmas for different I usually, when I went down there to the warehouse this morning and grabbed gifts or books, I thought of like people that I would give them to. So these are obviously my go-to are coloring books. Actually, when I had my own office upstairs, I kept all these in my bookcase, and then whenever I either had to bring one of my brothers with me for work or something, or my nephews would pop in, like I'd have them in my cupboard so that they could pull and draw and color. And then they're just like good filler gifts or good stocking gifts. They have like the more basic ones.
We have nice lighting in this office.
We do have nice lighting in this office. It is way better. We look a lot more tan with this lighting too. Before we were looking crazy.
No, we were like burning with tan, and we're like every time we go on video, we look like we're dying. We're like gothic.
Don't have a bad glare either. Look at this.
Yeah.
You can see the covers.
Wow.
So yeah,
nice.
These are awesome for younger kids. And then I liked this one. So when I would bring my older brother sometimes, he was like 12. And he didn't want to do those. He would do the adult Ark Encounter, known as Ark coloring book.
So if you've ever gone to the Ark Encounter, these are actual exhibits and sketches from the Ark Encounter during the planning stages where they would have sketches and turned it into a coloring book. So it's a great gift if you've gone, or maybe you want to go to the Ark Encounter, just an adult coloring book.
Yeah, so those ones are my favorite. I always enjoyed coloring growing up and drawing, or even tracing. I used to, when I was little, I would take books like this and I would trace it out so that I could try and learn how to draw. So just take a piece of printer paper and go over top of it and then just fill it out. And then I could say like, I drew this and then I colored it in. So those are my number one. Continuing on with the Ark Encounter, I'm going to do this out of the order that I grabbed in.
Okay.
That's probably really loud, sorry. These two. One, they're the best feeling. This feels, it's got like a rubberish, not rubber, but like.
Yeah, this book was actually a special, it's a special edition. It's got embossing here. It's the texture of it is a matte finish. And then the Ark is actually glossy embossed. You see how it kind of shines in the light there and comes out. And then this is almost like a copper finish. So these books are used a lot. AIG will use this. We sell a lot of it at the Ark Encounter. They'll also use this for donors and gifts because it's such a high quality book. And it's just, I mean, it's an awesome book.
And these two are really awesome if you've never been to the Ark Encounter. It's going to be a while before you can go. This one was cool, even though like I've been to the Ark Encounter a couple times to just kind of go through. This one was the building of the Ark Encounter, so you can kind of go through and see what the process was. I'm going to move it a little closer. What the process was in building. Skip a few pages. All the pictures during the progress of it.
It's got stuff like how much concrete, how many sheets of plywood. Like each stage of the building of the Ark Encounter has it in there, and it's amazing. Of course, we've been kind of Answers in Genesis, the Creation Museum, our family has enjoyed immensely. But we've been to the Ark Encounter a few times, and it's just incredible. So great gift is for just somebody who loves details like construction. It's the largest timber frame building, I think, in North America for sure. And it's just fascinating. So this is a great gift for an engineer, adult, something like that.
Yeah, and I'd say these two like together, this is like a vacation in a book.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually if we have a family member or somebody that we're sending to the Ark Encounter, I will give them these two books to kind of prep themselves for the trip.
Carity said Ark signs would go great with those two. Yeah, because the Ark signs book goes through all of the signs and the exhibits, so that if like the Ark is really busy, you can go through and read the exhibits without having to stop at all the exhibits.
Because you have thousands of people walking through the Ark at any one time, and all these people are trying to snap pictures. So the Ark signs is just a way to capture it, but still enjoy it.
And then this one, also I will add that this one is the best smelling book. Whenever we get new books in, I'm all about the smell. And then when Maddie brings it up from the warehouse, I'm like, oh my goodness. So this one is one of the best smelling books if you're into that.
And it's got incredible, the photography was...
The feel and the photography of this one, definitely a favorite. So let me bring you through the Ark Encounter. Yeah. This one isn't as detailed as the Ark signs, right? But it does go through
from the signage point. Yeah.
The details of the pictures are just like incredible. So those are the animal exhibits. Very cool. What exhibit that is? More of the animal. And that was animal care. So yeah, the pictures are just like incredible. So those together, I would say, are really awesome. Like I said, vacation in a book.
Yep.
Can't go to the Ark Encounter? Well, this will hold you over till you can make it.
I think that's a good pick.
So these ones, that's something I would give to somebody who's like looking to go to the Ark Encounter or travel. And these ones would be for, I would say, like Gabriel, who's 12.
I know some families are planning like a vacation to the Ark Encounter. This would be a great book if you had tickets. If you got tickets, to put this in the box with the tickets would be awesome.
Like if you guys got that like as a family gift for us, and you're like, hey guys, like, surprise, and then that we could like get excited and learn about it before we went. Because I think sometimes when you learn about things before you go, it makes it like even cooler, because then you like already know what the exhibits are about, so you appreciate it more.
Definitely. Especially
because sometimes, like you said, you can't read as you go. Just reading through some of the comments. Okay, and then these ones, I was thinking of like my 12-year-old brother. I'm all about the books that are full of color.
Carity says it's like mouthfeel for books. Not sure, Carity. I'm stumped.
Mouthfeel. Yeah, fellow book smell peeps. I found my trap. See, you looked at me like it was weird, but they all have a smell to them. There's some books that just don't smell good. These ones, this series, we have Dragons, Giants, and Flood of Noah. They're all the same size, kind of all the same.
Yeah, we would call this our Legends series.
So there's like all sorts of like, so this one is the Dragons. Flaps and pull out, so it's not like a little kid book. This would be more like I would say Gabriel, who's like 12, that I would get, and he would just spend forever. Again, these books at that age, I can see Gabe doing it too. I always enjoyed going through and tracing the pictures, and these ones would be really good for that. So yeah, there's like all these envelopes and flaps, and goes through this one, learning all about dragons. Then this one goes through about giants in ancient times.
Each of these are legends of giants, like in China. So it'd be Fengku was a giant who came from egg of chaos. When the egg hatched, the top became the heavens, the bottom became the water. Fin Cain died, his body became the earth, mountains. The idea of legends and lore is in the Bible, there are things like giants, David and Goliath. And and dinosaurs. Well, dinosaurs, before they were called dinosaurs in the 1800s, most likely were called dragons. And this discusses dinosaurs, legends, lore of dinosaurs. This is giants, because with legends and lore, there typically would be some pointing back to the truth, which would be what we see in Scripture. Yeah, the fold out of this is really cool, of David and Goliath.
So like I said, this isn't a little kid book. This would be like in 10, 12-year-old kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the book goes on to talk, it does explain legends and lore and how history they get interwoven in.
I'm easily amused. I didn't know that one was in. He's like in bed and he pulls the covers over and the feet pop out. Sorry.
There's a lot of interaction in these books. Not just 12-year-olds. They obviously.
Yeah, obviously 21-year-olds. I'm a 12-year-old at heart. Just this one.
Yeah, the flood legends. There are cultures, multiple cultures have legends of floods. And they're very similar to the flood account of Noah. And so the legends and lore of the floods tells all these different accounts that different cultures have to point to, well, how did this happen, right? At the Tower of Babel, most likely, each culture went and a little bit of the variations of stories changed. But ultimately, we know the Bible is God's word, is truth. These are all like, Noah's Ark, the real life event, and there's an entire section of Noah, the Bible, the scripture, that ties all these into. This is what they're actually all pointing to as the one true story we know as the flood of Noah.
God. I'm a hot mess. Okay. So that was my third.
Legends and lore.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I was saying, what am I going to do next? Quick answers to tough questions. This would be my friends or people like teenagers that I'm like trying to invest into.
Yeah.
I connect a lot with like freshman girls a lot. And so these are good. These would be a good gift for any of them. Just covering, this one covers more like the basics of like big faith questions.
Teenagers, early believers, somebody who's new in the faith, somebody who may have some questions about your faith. This would be a really good teaser to just kind of answer the questions very quickly without, we can go in depth, as much in depth as you need to with Master Books, but this is a great,
and
just
also,
brush the surface.
Right, for somebody like my age, I don't enjoy reading in depth. Like sometimes I just want the answer.
Right.
And this is definitely that, but it also gives the Bible references to, so let me just find a chapter to start off. So the catastrophic flood creation, it's got rock layers, flood, local or global, Noah hold all these animals on the ark, and then so you go through each of them, and it gives the answers obviously to it, and then it gives the Bible references where those were found. I always like to go back and look at the references, so I'm not just like reading the information, I'm comparing it, and then marking notes, like cross-referencing, like all my notes with that. So that I love that it's got the references in them, and then it's super fun, colorful, and graphic. Again, for people my age who love, like, I feel like right now we're going into like the culture's becoming so graphic focused. This is super good.
Yeah, and I think something that we're addressing, right, as you step into culture from a homeschool environment, is how to be equipped to step into that without culture affecting you, but you affecting culture.
Right.
And this is a great resource of just to kind of the quick answers for those questions that you get.
Yeah. So that is that one.
Okay.
For this series, I had my 14-year-old brother in mind. I don't know, he's maybe 15 now.
Yeah. We would offer parental caution in that they're definitely Christian books. They're produced by Tim Chafee, who is one of the historians at the Ark Encounter, great guy. But obviously, at the time of Noah, there were some things going on that God wasn't happy with. So it's not graphic, but they are issues that you may just want to be prepared for. So, okay.
So yeah, they're historical fiction. Kind of use some creative license to kind of, you go through and kind of imagine what the times were like. So it tells the story of Noah and the Ark, but it also fills in with creative license, like the details of like, it fleshes out the story. So it basically brings the story of Noah and his family to life. And then I think the third one is after they get off the Ark, actually.
Yeah, I believe so.
And then kind of what the world was after that. And so, yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's a good read. It's not a graphic book, but it's definitely, if you have, like Jamin loves to read. So he would just pick this up. And then in the back, if I can find it, they have behind the fiction, so they kind of describe kind of why they use, right? And then answering questions raised by the novel. So they'll kind of go through, like this one was, how long were Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? And so they kind of answer some of those questions and how they got to why they answered things the way that they did in the book. And then that part back here. Encounter this. This was a really cool part. So again, with the Ark Encounter, they encounter this. You can see they give different things. So chapter 1, the chapter opens with Noah trying to figure out a way to pass time while grieving over his tragic losses. He begins carving an animal out of a block of wood, and it is mentioned that the back of a large-eared tusker started to take shape before he put the project down. His carving, based on an elephant-like creature modeled after, really complicated word, Pelomastodon.
Yeah.
Can be seen on a shelf in Noah's library on the second deck. So if you take this book to the Ark Encounter or snap a picture on your phone of this back part, you can look for these different items that were used in the Ark Encounter, because Tim Chafee and Kimberly Adams, they all worked on the exhibits in the Ark Encounter. So it was cool because they were able to tie things in to the books, and that's in all of the books. And then different things borrowed from the Bible. They go through some of the different chapters where they got the creative license, where they like took ideas and things from other parts of the Bible to tie it in to the story. So yeah.
I know Kristen started reading these and she couldn't stop. She read through all 3 of them. She told Carrie about them. My daughter, oldest daughter, and Carrie started reading them and couldn't stop and read through the whole thing. They're not your typical boring Bible story book. They really make you think differently.
Right, it's making the Bible kind of come to life, because it's more than just like reading. Because then going into just after reading these, going back to the Bible and reading through your Bible, you kind of start to picture, it's more than just like what you're reading. You start to kind of piece your own stories and ideas together. I mean, obviously you always want to stay true to what the word is and stuff, but it gives you kind of like, it creates a setting more than just kind of what you get in the Bible. And it helps you, like, they use different parts of the Bible to tie in to the story. So it makes you be more aware of that. So if they did this in this part of the Bible, they probably do it the same way over here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The cover of this, if you'll see Noah in the Colosseum with a T-Rex, I think it was Huffington Post, a couple of others, they actually got a fair amount of criticism in media. As a publicist, it was pretty awesome because you got some free publicity out of this cover, because people were like, a T-Rex in the Coliseum.
Yeah. Carrie said, freezer meals prepped and ready to go for my Noah Trilogy readathon. Yes.
Yes.
And then Shelley said, wonder if my husband would enjoy the Noah books.
Yeah, they're not feminine. So, I mean, it's not that I gave illustrations, but I know Tim, our president, is very much into biographies and nonfiction. And this series, he actually enjoyed reading this series. So we don't do many fiction books because it's not in our wheelhouse, so to speak. But this series, he really enjoyed reading. So
I'm going to do that other one going off.
This one?
No, the bottom 3 or 4. Sorry. So keeping up that kind of book series, my next one would be the Dinah Harris mystery series. I like to compare these to like the Hallmark Mystery Channel. I love Hallmark. Where they're your clean mysteries. And then each of them teaches life lessons.
There are topics in them like bullying, creation, evolution, different things that contemporary topics that we encounter that are part of the storylines.
Right, and then you kind of track Dinah Harris's, who's like the, she's kind of like doing the investigative work and stuff. You kind of just track along the stories with her and go through the storylines. And like I said, each one teaches like life lessons throughout it. So again, something like Jamin will just...
High school students, you want to be careful. Each family should just look through them first. I wouldn't give them to elementary age students unless your elementary age student has a pretty good grasp on some world issues. But definitely a good read. Once he started reading it, Jamin read all the way through and devoured them.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Another one that I love. If you can't tell already, I really love graphic books.
That was cool.
I did that on purpose.
Okay.
See? Like I said, I'm a hot mess today, reading through some of the comments quick. Would those be good for a 12-year-old boy that loves to read? Yes, again, just to reiterate, just with caution, probably look through them or go online, look through the descriptions, kind of get an idea. Every family's different with how they present different topics and stuff, so just get an idea before you just hand them over to them. Yep. Or maybe just be aware of some of the topics so that if you want to approach it and talk to them about it, then you can do it that way.
Right.
So we have the Passport to the World. This one is super awesome because you go through different cultures, just going all around the world.
This is part of our elementary geography and cultures course, but as a standalone book, it would be a great gift for, because it's biblical worldview, Christian, great gift for nieces, nephews.
Right. They have the different foods from every culture. So like if you want to find recipes for different foods or try them, like this one, pomegranates, I think. So maybe this week we kind of look at Hebrew and Israel, and then we get a pomegranate to try that out. I know that was fun. When we used to, for a while, we did like biblical holidays, and we would do stuff like that where we're like, oh, like we're going to celebrate this. Like, let's get a pomegranate and see, like, try. And that was like a cool thing that we did growing up. We kind of experienced different cultures and
Yeah, that would be a fun. It's almost like a trip around the world in a book that you could take as a family.
Gives the populations, life expectancy. Like this for South Africa, gives you the population, life expectancy, the literacy, the internet users, the internet code, and the money units. And then a bunch of fun facts, different things. And so then along with this is the passport stickers and passports. So, and we sell these as extras too. I think there's one in each book. But you can buy extras. So if you're going through as a family, each kid can have their own passport book.
Yep. So as you go to page 4, as males require 2 stones, so friendship requires 2 heads. A handful of love is better than an oven full of bread, but you would use the stickers. Like,
those are like quotes.
This is Armenian proverb, so you would use the Armenian passport picture. I got it. You'd use the Armenian passport picture and stick it into the passport as they go through the whole thing, and then they fill out their passport with just some, like the Welsh proverb, a nation without a language is a nation without a heart. Exoso proverb, throats are all alike in swallowing.
I like too that it gives like the people of the culture, so you can kind of get an idea for like the way the different cultures, the way they dress and look. Like this, like her dress. Get an idea for kind of the way that they dress.
Craig Froman, the author of this, he's very creative. He does a great job. He did this Atlas. He's done My Story 1, My Story 2. He's doing the U.S. Atlas and the U.S. There's a book like this where they go from state to state as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, it
Did
does a
My
great
Story
job.
1 and 2.
Yep.
And then I think last but
No, we got 2 more.
2 more. This one is one of my favorites. We did the adult timeline, Adam's Start of History last week. This one I like. Very graphic again. Kind of on my. You're gonna pull it that way. And then on the back part, it kind of says like what it goes through on this back cover. If you want to read through some of that.
And this has, it's actually right there. So there's 4 tracks in this book. We're good. We got this. Right here's 4 tracks. So it's got Biblical Christianity as the yellow track. It's got World Events as the orange track. It has Inventions and Technology as the green track. And then Civilizations and Empires are the red track. So as you go through history, you can see like Christianity, world events, inventions, and cultures and civilizations. And it's just a fantastic, like, quick walkthrough of history. This would go with almost any history course that you're doing. We also have You Report the World History that uses this as its core and kind of teaches a kid to think in context of history. But this makes a really good tool to use with history. The other thing we have is this is the book format, so you can just store it. But we also have wall panels that don't have the cover, so you could put it up like a poster. I think it's 13 feet long, 15 foot long. So you need a space about 15 feet. But yeah, this is definitely one of our favorites.
Heather Anderson said, did Randy say there's a U.S. passport style book too?
Yeah, there's one coming. In 2020, Craig is actually doing a U.S. geography course, much like the U.S. or the World Geography and Cultures course. There will be a U.S. course coming out with the states and an atlas and a teacher guide.
Cool. All right, so the last one that I've got is gorgeous. It feels amazing. It smells amazing. It is Pilgrims Progress by John Bunyan.
Second most purchased book, at least it was for a lot of years, the second most purchased book in the history next to the Bible. Pilgrims Progress is a classic. This book has the gold, I forget what they call it, gold plating on the pages themselves. The cover is an antique type cover. Mm-hmm. It's got the bookmarker. The font is huge. And this isn't just Pilgrim's Progress. Bunyan was actually a pretty impressive writer. And this has like 6 other books. It's got The Holy War, Grace Abounding to the Chief of Sinners, The Relation of the Imprisonment of Mr. Bunyan, Mr. John Bunyan's Dying Sayings, Christian Behavior Being the Fruits of True Christianity, The Barren Fig Tree, Mr. Bunyan's Last Sermon, and The Water of Life. Like this thing it looks gorgeous on a shelf. It would be a great family gift, a great read aloud type gift, and because of the look and feel. And then in it, there is original artwork as well that goes along with it. So it's
got the fancy bookmark.
Yeah. Anybody who has this, I know a few of you have purchased this. Feel free to weigh in, but this is one of my favorite Master Books products. We have 3 imprints. An imprint is kind of a division of. So we have 3 imprints. New Leaf Press. New Leaf Press is really it's our Christian living. It's hope. That would be the line. The word that describes New Leaf Press would be hope, giving you tools to equip you for Christian living. Then we have Master Books. Master Books has our apologetics and homeschooling. With that, what I would say is it's where faith grows. Faith is the key word for Master Books. Then we have the attic books. And the attic books are classics like the Adams Chart, We have a book on Spurgeon. We have the Pilgrims Progress. These are like classic antique books that we brought back to life, and we sell a tremendous amount of this product. Legacy would be the word that would describe the Attic Books lines. And a lot of it is represented with Master Books. So we don't make the distinction Attic Books very often, but that's why we like this classic looking antique feel, is because it's kind of one of those books that you would be like going up into grandma or great grandma's attic, and all of a sudden you see this classic book, and it's just like, oh my goodness, Tim goes out of his way to have these manufactured and produced to the highest quality that they look like this. So pretty cool. That's a great gift idea.
Jessica McCullers said, this and Josephus have the same look, and they're so incredibly beautiful. I just pulled them out this weekend to show them off and got a lot of oohs and ahs.
It is an ooh and ah type book, yeah. Yeah, and Josephus is another. We sell a ton of Josephus lately.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about the smells. Some people are weirded out by the smell thing. No, there's like every new books have just a good smell to them.
Yeah, it's like a new car.
The printer, the toner, the whatever it is. It's just like, yeah, new car smell.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, it's kind of sad. But especially the more you like fan it out. The book smells don't last when you just keep going.
Well, this is that's a good gift idea. You pick some winners. I missed some of those. So.
Yeah, you did do the animal book, though. The one you did last week, the animal book, that's definitely another one of my absolute favorites. But I didn't grab that one because I figured we already did it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, hey, it's we're next week, of course, is Thanksgiving week, and the following Monday, which I think is December 2nd, is that right?
I think so.
We have at 9 a.m., we will have our Scratch and Dent flash sale. And, yep, the 2nd. And there is a ton of books we have a lot of curriculum. We have a lot of books. There's a lot of fantastic deals that you'll get. It's a first come, first serve. We're not waiting till 11 o'clock at night this year. We're doing it at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So mark that on your calendar, because I think that if you get in early, there's an opportunity there to really pick up some good deals on curriculum. The following week, and I can't remember the date that we set, so I've got to announce it. I was joking.
Oh, you were joking?
I know the date, but we're not announcing it.
Sorry if I mouthed that.
I gave you the second.
Understand it. Oops. You should have told me that before we started.
Read the clues. Read the clues.
Private meeting. Where's the Adams chart?
Yeah.
Hang on a moment.
My bad. Okay. All right. Hey, well, hope you have a good week. And what?
Nothing. Me. I'm clueless. It's me.
We hope you're having a good week. You know, this time of year, I saw some posts of people who are kind of in the doldrums and just kind of feeling down. That's so normal. Don't beat yourself up over it. Like I say, this is kind of the fall funk. There's a teaching tip for that. But we're at a spot where the holidays are coming. So just hang on a couple of weeks and things are going to get real exciting. And you know what? We have so much to be thankful for. We really do. So, and we are thankful for you. So thank you for joining us and giving us your time and attention. And we appreciate it. We appreciate being able to serve the call that God has given to you for Game Changers. And I can't tell you, Brittany's starting to launch into culture. Okay. So I'm going to go on a tangent. Okay. She's nervous.
Mm-hmm.
She's nervous. We need game changers. Culture is decaying so fast. We need children who are trained to be Daniels, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's, Nehemiah's, David's, Joshua's, Caleb's. We need men and women of great character who can step into culture and begin to change and influence culture instead of being taken down by culture. And so what you're doing today in sacrificing your time and your very your dreams and your goals. You are participating in the work of the kingdom to build up, to raise up a generation that is standing against, oh my goodness, I just watching and seeing the changes that have happened, even in just the last 10 years or 20 years, is incredible. And, you know, Brittany and I were talking right before we went on about she was in a situation with some kids in culture who really didn't have an example of how to behave, some girls and how they would behave in culture, and seeing how they would like just not even knowing their worth or their value.
Yep.
I'm being careful.
I know.
But there's such a need for what you're doing. And we applaud you for that, and we support you, and know that there are people who are praying for you today, because your kids are so needed. Like, it's almost like the front line is waiting and it's empty, and you guys are preparing these kids. And these books and that, they're not just books to entertain them. They're books to equip them, to prepare them, so that when they do step into culture, they have an answer. And they have a foundation of faith that's solid. So, all right. So I did go off on a tangent. I made you pretty nervous. So
You did. Good job.
all right, guys. Hey, God bless you. Brittany, do you get a YouTube?
Do I have a YouTube? YouTube?
We've talked a lot about this.
I'm like, I don't know if I should.
Yeah, we've talked about doing a father-daughter blog, actually, where we would address some sensitive topics, because we're facing them.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Brittany can handle me.
I was like, I don't know that I want to air everything that I'm working through.
Yeah, and it's really just stepping into culture. You know, we raise our kids in this vacuum, right? And so it's like all of a sudden you have to open the door and hope that all your training, all your preparation has given them the tools. And the first time they step into the arena, and you're just like, man, I hope they don't get their butts kicked too badly. And I'm very proud of Brittany, because she actually has stood and she's influencing culture around her. And I'm proud of her for that. And that's what I want for everybody's kids. I want them to step into the arena, and I want them to kick butt for the kingdom. That probably wasn't as politically correct as it should have sounded.
No, but I'm all about that. Kick butt for the kingdom.
Yeah, good. All right, guys. God bless you. Have a good week.
Bye.